Hi everyone, welcome back to PinkTalk International. Today we're here with Eya from Fulfilling Destiny, an organization based in California. And to get right started, Eya, if you want to introduce yourself and the organization a little bit.
Hi everyone, my name is Eya Touglo. So happy to be here, and I'm the founder and executive director of Fulfilling Destiny, an organization that provides menstrual products for those experiencing homelessness or just having a difficult time to afford purchasing menstrual product. And we are based in California, San Diego, and San Jose. We serve two locations. So. Excited to be here.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you, and we really appreciate all the work that you do for the underserved communities over there. So what it kind of inspired you or motivated you to work towards this cause at the beginning?
Um, I was born and raised in West Africa, particularly Togo. So being raised in Togo, I didn't really have, the education in regard to menstruation or girl getting their periods, and even having the adequate product when I have my period. It was really difficult, and I always get teased when I go to school when I have my period because my clothes always get stained, and boy will make fun. So I always say to myself, if I have the opportunity to serve and just shine the light on the importance of menstruators having their period, how it is that it's nothing to be ashamed of, it's
Yeah.
something to be celebrate and just educate people on it, and so that we don't feel ashamed. I always say that to myself. So when I had the opportunity, I moved to US in 2004. I didn't speak any English by then, so I couldn't really do much about it. And after I got my bachelor degree, that's when I kind of get the idea back that, you know what, I can actually do this, but then I didn't know how to start. I was like, yeah, this is great. The idea is back, but how can I get this done in a way that it's professional, is educational, and also have the mean to make sure that what I'm uh, saying or what I'm talking about, people are able to relate and learn something about it. So I was able to talk to one of my professor, Dr. Recker from San Diego State University, and one of my friend Patricia, and they gave me some advice. Knowing how passionate I am about menstruation and just education on menstrual equity, so that's how I took the advice and I did all the research that I need to do, and launched the organization.
Yeah, I think that's really amazing, kind of building yourself up from there and looking how far you guys have really come. Fulfilling Destiny, if you guys haven't been able to check out their website yet, they've received so many awards, have conducted so many projects to help the homeless in the San Jose area in California. Their educate, collect, and distribute philosophy, I personally thought was amazing and really recommend everybody to check out on their website. And they have raised over 18,000 US dollars in funds for products and distribution, which is a lot, and that's really amazing. So you said that you had this experience in West Africa when you were growing up. So could you tell us just a little bit more about the personal experiences and obstacles that you faced when it came to menstrual stigma and how you kind of overcame that in your community?
Yeah, sure. West Africa, just like any other countries, period is a very sensitive and taboo
Right.
topic to
Yeah.
tackle, right? So I wasn't living with my mom then, I was living with my aunt. So it was really hard to have the conversation. I have my period. Okay, yeah, you have your period. Here's go. Here's this rag. This is how you do it. That's it. I'm like, okay, well, I was freaking out. I was like, I thought I was dying. So I called my mom. When my mom did come over, she said, oh, now you become a woman. I'm like, okay, what does that mean?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And the only thing I was told was, well, you have to be careful, otherwise you get pregnant. I was
Mhm.
okay. How do you get pregnant? All these things, all those things. So I guess I always knew that there's so much more to it, and I need to do my own research. So I do ask questions, even though it wasn't my mom or my aunt that I was living with. I do ask questions, friends, which which thinking back, I was like, that's actually not a good idea because some of the advice wasn't like as educational as it's supposed to be.
Mhm.
So it's really hard to talk about it,
Yeah.
and I wasn't able to talk to any of my family member about having my period or the symptom that I was going through, the cramps and the mood swings. I couldn't understand it. And the worst part is going to school and being teased by boys because boys don't understand it either. So they think it's okay for them to tease girls or menstruators when they have their period. And it was just difficult. But now I had the opportunity to do something about it. So my hope and goal is to continue to educate and one day even take this to my own country and my
Mhm.
hometown in the hometown that I'm from to actually do more education and talk about it and
Yeah.
show that there's more to menstruation and period rather than taboo. It's not
Mhm.
taboo.
Yes, no,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, I know you mentioned a little bit about the boys in your school who were teasing you about it. How do you think that we can kind of better involve men and boys into this conversation surrounding menstrual equity, health, and poverty? And I feel like it should be an inclusive cause, you know? I don't feel like it should be something that only women or only menstruators
Right.
should be looking into and working towards. So, how do you think that we can kind of best involve them into this conversation and into this idea?
In my opinion, I think the more we include them in activities that involve menstruation or period, for instance. So, fulfilling destiny, that's one thing we're really proud of. We
Mhm.
include our boys and men. Our husband helped. My son is 7 years old. He was 3 when the organization started, and he was part of every single
Wow,
activity
that's amazing.
that he's able to go to.
That's
He
amazing.
knows. I talk to him and I explain it to him as much as he can understand with his little brain. And
Mhm.
I think the more we include men and boys in the conversation, right? Don't
Mhm.
just have them sit around. Bring them into the conversation. Ask them questions and just let them know that it's okay to talk about it. It is okay when
Yeah,
you see your classmate, a menstruator in your classmate who has a stain on her shirt, right? Let
right.
her know you have a stain on your shirt. And if you have a sweater, give her your sweater to cover it up, or go to the nurse station and get her pad or tampon.
Right.
So if we include boys and men in the conversation, and let them know the importance and the natural phenomenon that period is in menstruators' life, I think
Mhm.
that will make a huge difference. But if we just leave them on the side and just keep
Mhm.
on thinking, oh, they think period is something that is messy or nasty or all that, it's just the issue wouldn't is not going to go away.
Right, yeah,
Have to be
definitely.
inclusive, yeah.
Yeah, no, chances are they have a sister or a mother, eventually a daughter. And I think being educated about the cause and then being able to again help and maybe educate even more people about it, that would be really ideal.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving a little bit more to talk about the United States, do you think that women and young girls and non-menstruators have access to the necessary health care and emotional support that they need to help them with their menstrual needs, like in your country, so the United States?
Compared to other countries, I will say yes, but United States also has a lot of work to do
Right.
because
Yeah.
yeah, because school, for instance, don't provide free menstrual product for menstruators.
Mhm. Right.
That's why now there's a lot of other organizations that are fighting for menstrual equity and free the period, for instance,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just
definitely.
yeah, and spreading awareness and education and tackling all our elected officials and policymakers, making sure that they provide adequate menstrual product access to those who need it in school for free.
Mhm.
So we, for instance, we collaborate with school. We collaborate with 3 schools, and we provide menstrual product ready for students who need them to pick them up when they need them.
Mhm.
I am
Yeah.
so happy that California now
Yes.
passed a bill, right?
Yeah, I
that
heard
will,
about that. Yeah.
that starting the next school year will start providing free menstrual products for
Yeah, that's
students.
amazing. That's really cool to see that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, a little bit of bragging rights. Michigan, I live in Michigan, so we kind of just our bill for to eliminate the tampon tax in Michigan just passed through the House of Representatives and the Senate. So we're just
Awesome.
basically waiting for it to be signed into a law. So that's something I'm really excited about.
It is.
Um,
It
yeah,
is.
but yeah, still
Yeah.
34 more states to go, almost
Yes,
there.
34 months there. We have to reach out to all our elected
Oh yes,
officials. Let them know this is not a luxury. Like we didn't ask to have a period at every month. It's a
yeah,
necessity for us. Like it's really sad that
yeah,
if a menstruator have her period now, she has to either choose, do I get my menstrual product or do I eat food, right?
right.
And it's
It's really
just those are basic necessity, that those are basic need. And I think the period task also need to go. The period
sad.
task also need to go, because if you only have $5, for instance, to buy pad or tempo, and then
Mhm,
you when they attach to it, and then you end up being, for instance, 5.25 or something, then you
mhm,
can afford to buy your menstrual product, but you really need it. So calling
mhm.
it luxury tax, that's just crazy. They have
Yeah,
to remove yeah, they have to remove that and just make sure that that a free menstrual product everywhere in all public restrooms, in
mhm,
all public area for those who need them. Students shouldn't have to stay home because they can't afford to purchase menstrual product. It doesn't make sense to
no,
me.
it doesn't, and no one should have to pick between getting groceries or getting their pads and tampons for the month,
Right,
like, that's something that should not be differentiated at all.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And I think something like recent, of course, COVID has, I know it has a huge impact here in the States. And
Mhm.
I don't know exactly how it is in California, but how do you think for you guys that the pandemic has impacted access to the menstrual products? And I know effects are probably still going on. So, like,
Mhm.
what do you think that we can do to help those who are seeking menstrual health access in these times?
Yeah. You're correct saying that the pandemic has affected those who need access. It affect all of us in a way that we cannot understand, right? We wasn't expecting pandemic to happen.
Mhm.
But for those who are already going through a difficult time and getting access to menstrual product, it's even harder.
Right.
We get a lot of call from even like family members just call, oh, I need menstrual product, I need pad, I need tempo. Can you bring it to me? Can I come and pick it up? And we're like, yeah, definitely. Even if it's at 10 o'clock at night, we'll drive and drop it off.
That's
So
really
we have requested so many donations from even people who weren't getting donation from us before. And our distribution has increased, especially for students, right? If you have a program in your school that
mhm.
provide food, and when you go get your food, you also get your menstrual products. But then the school is closed. You don't even have access to the food, so you don't get access to your menstrual product. So what we still do during the pandemic is that we're still distributing to our partner organizations, our community partner organizations, so that when menstruators come to their office or their space to get food or clothes, then they also have access to a menstrual product because it's really important to them. That's what we have been doing. And I know some of the food pantries also have been trying to give some menstrual product as much as they can. So yeah, it's really difficult, but as an organization, we are trying our very best. If we have to meet you in the parking lot and just drop it off, social
Yeah.
distancing, we do that. We wear our mask to make sure that we're protecting each other, and we keep going because we have to support one another. We have to be there for each other, especially in this difficult time.
Yeah, there's been a lot of, talking about how I guess two sides have split apart over there throughout the pandemic, but I think what you're talking about is really important how we should this is a time where like all of us should be coming together and working towards these of course menstrual equity, but I guess all social justice issues as a group. And I know you mentioned something about working with other organizations. So what other organizations are in your area, and like how did you work with them to fight for this cause?
Yeah, sure. So, because we're based in San Diego, that's where the organization started. Most of our partners are in San Diego. In San Jose, we only have like three partners.
Mm-hmm.
Um, What we do is, so we have a bag called dignity bags. We have one brown, one white. So the white bag has tampons, and then the brown bag has pads.
Okay.
And then the bag that has tampon also has liners. So each bag has enough menstrual product for one whole cycle. And sometimes when we have donation for white, flushable wipes, we include them in there as well as any other um, product that we have, we include them there. And we do parking party to make the dignity bag. We ask our community members and family members with their children just to get together to parking party for us in the pandemic.
Okay.
Prior to the pandemic, we do community event where we have a lot of people. We set the table, which is more like community gathering, doing something for our community, and we make the dignity bag. Then we take the dignity back to our community organization that are serving those experiencing homelessness or um, um, foster youth, right? And we have a different partners. Some of them are fighting for domestic violence. And so we take it to them, and then from there they just distribute to their clients.
Okay.
And prior to the pandemic, also, we do community outreach because not everyone stay in shelters. So
Mm-hmm.
some people rather stay on the street because that's more comfortable for them than the shelter because of the rules and regulation that the shelters also have.
Yeah.
So we walk the street every third Saturday of the month. We walk the street of downtown San Diego and we distribute menstrual product for those who need them.
Mm-hmm.
But we stopped due to the pandemic with all the things. So hopefully we'll get back to that very soon.
Yeah, no, I think that's yeah, an amazing thing to do, and with all the hopefully cases slow down and all of that, you'll be able to get back into that. And I think that's a really, great idea that a lot of organizations, and I think that's something that people can do at from home as well. And just making bags and kits and giving them out to homeless shelters or women centers and any place that needs them. So if you're looking to make an impact in any way, everything helps. That's definitely a great way to go about that.
Yeah, and getting the children involved. So
Yeah.
we made in a way that kids decorate the bag. Our dignity bag always have like code that is uplifting and just make sure that someone that get that dignity bag feel like, oh, someone care and take so much time and thought about me and make this, and getting children involved and writing on the bag or decorating the bag the way they feel like they want the bag to be. It's
Mhm.
really rewarding seeing parents with their kids together and just serving their community in a way that we don't even think about, right?
Right,
It's
yeah.
the little things that make a huge difference in someone's life.
definitely. Yeah. Yeah, so it's great that, there are all these organizations working towards this cause. Yeah, and I think it's really important. But have you noticed any difference when it comes to the conversation surrounding menstruation and menstrual equity as compared to other social justice issues in your country?
Yeah, I noticed that now there's more activities and workshop and bill trying to be passed and school trying to make sure that the student have what they need. Right? It used to be that school would have the fuel pad or tampon in a nursing station. So when menstruator need it, then they have to go and ask.
Mhm.
And sometimes you don't want to go ask. You don't want people to know, the whole office to know that, oh, I have my period, right? So
Yeah.
now schools are trying to have period product in the restrooms, and organizations are making sure that they have period products accessible and visible so that when menstruator comes in, they don't have to ask. They see it there, they just go to pick it up. There are more conversation going on now than when we first started our organization, which I'm really happy about, because the more awareness, the more we have this conversation, the more education we'll have, and then hopefully one day we'll be able to eradicate period poverty. So that's the hope. And yeah, there has been a shift for a few years now. I'll say about 3 years, 3 to 4 years now. There's a shift in the U.S. in regard to menstrual equity and just making sure that we're being inclusive as well, because not everyone who menstruates is a woman. That's one
Right.
thing. Also, yeah, the language also is shift. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think also reaching out to like how kind of we're doing here, reaching out to other countries
Right.
and other places and just kind of supporting each other through this cause. I know especially India also has come so far in their fight for menstrual equity, and so many things have improve the conversation around menstruation has definitely become more honest and more open, and young menstruators are able to talk about it with their family members and people at school. So I think that's really notable and really amazing that we've been able to come this far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So do you have any advice for young women or advocates or menstruators who are seeking support from others for their menstrual health efforts?
Yes, I will say be bold. Be bold. I know the young generation, youth, and they are very bold and courageous. Just continue to be bold. Have the tough conversation. Somebody doesn't want to hear it, just still talk about it and be polite, but don't let anyone dim your light, right? Don't let anyone dim your light. And just continue the effort of educating other people and having workshop and just advocacy is really important. And I love the fact that you see the young generation, the youth on social media giving shout out to organization, and they do their own fundraising stuff, and then they purchase product and take it to shelter. They're doing the research, they're doing the work. And
Right.
I think we as adults need to support them, right? We need to support them and be available for them when they have conversation and let them know it is okay to talk about period. It is okay to talk about men. Yeah, it's natural. It's something to be proud of that I get to menstruate every single month, and I get to renew my body every single month. So this is something that we need to support our youth on, our young generation, right? And just let them know we're here if they need any help.
Mhm.
Never be ashamed of talking about period or menstruation, and just go on and change the world. We're here if you need help. And when you're going out there, grab one other friend with you, and tell your other friend to grab one other friend with them, right? So it just one by one step at a time, and together there will be a change.
Yeah, no, definitely. And if you could, I guess if you could go back and meet yourself from before you founded Fulfilling Destiny and did all these amazing things, what advice or what like words of wisdom, I guess, would you give yourself?
Oh wow, that's tough.
Yeah, you got it.
um, I think I will tell myself to be more open to
Mhm,
conversation and not to be afraid to talk, because I grew up in a place where you are not to talk to your elders about certain things.
mhm.
And I will tell myself, well, it's okay to talk about those things. It's okay to be bold, just like I said earlier. But
Yeah.
I didn't know that before. I didn't know social disobedience is something good. It's not bad, but I didn't. I didn't know that before. So yeah, be
Mhm.
more. I'd say be more bold,
Mhm.
communicate
Yes, no, definitely.
boldly, and be assertive as well, and not to be. I'm a shy person. I have grown out of it. So it's that I feel like that also kind of put pressure on me as a young girl. That there are certain things I can talk about, knowing the culture and knowing the people around me. So yeah,
Yeah, as the quote goes, well-behaved women seldom make history. I love that quote, one of my
yeah,
favorites.
yes, I love that quote too.
So, in terms of fulfilling destiny, what's next for you guys? Are there any projects or any events we should be looking out for in the near future?
Well, yeah, kind of. Now we so because the I just moved to a different city, San Jose, but we are serving San Jose also, so it's just wait for us to break ground here in San Jose as well. But we are planning to do for Giving Tuesday. We're gonna do some fundraising on our social media. We update our logo. Our logo used to say Fulfilling Destiny, Feminine Product Outreach. So we changed it to Menstrual Product Outreach. So
Fun.
we'll be showcasing that and have T-shirts for people who make donations. And hopefully things will get better by next year.
Yeah.
We were planning, we did like Run for Dignity
Oh,
2 years ago. We did Run for Dignity, and we were planning to do it last year. Then the pandemic happened. We were going to do it this year, but then things
okay.
didn't clear out. So hopefully next year we'll be
Yeah,
able to.
that's really great. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it something, do you know if something that can be done virtually? Because I think a lot of us, like, especially those who watching and me myself also, would like love to participate in something like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah. Yeah, we thought about it. So even if we're allowed to do like a real physical in-person run, we're
Mhm.
still going to do a virtual run for those who are not in US or in a different city, but also want to partake. Yes, definitely. So we're working on that, and I will keep you updated.
Yeah, so for those of you watching, anyone looking to get their cardio in and work towards the cause at the same time, definitely look out for that. And yeah, so this was great. It was really nice talking to you and learning more about fulfilling destiny and what you guys are doing. And I guess your story, a lot of it too, a lot of it was really inspirational. And I really appreciated the advice that you gave. That's something that I'm definitely going to take in account for myself. So yeah, if you have any closing remarks or anything like that.
Thank you so much for having me. This is an honor, and I would just like to say thank you to all our staff and board members, especially our volunteers.
Oh
We
yeah.
appreciate you because we couldn't done the job that we're doing without our volunteers. So we truly appreciate you. And if you know people who want to volunteer or want to get involved with Fulfilling Destiny, just reach out to us on our website www.fulfillingdestiny.org, and we'll be able to connect with you. And we look forward to hearing from you all. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely follow them on all their socials. and everything like that. And thank you everyone again for watching. We will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.